Enough of that, because maybe there are some people already here, ready and waiting for this live stream to begin on a very wet Wednesday. Is it Wednesday, Wilma? Is it Wednesday? Is that the day today? Or is it Thursday? I think it might be Thursday, actually. How spectacular terrible is that? How can it possibly be Thursday? It was only Monday yesterday. Oh, well, there we go. That's what happens when you just suddenly spring it upon yourself by asking yourself what day it is when you should really know. Who knows? What do you know? Who's here with me today? Who wants to be here with me today? Clearly there's somebody here. There's 4 people who've liked this live stream, even though there are only 2 people here. Slightly impromptu, of course, but that is because 5 likes you get. 5 likes you get. Slightly impromptu, of course, for 2 reasons, 2 good reasons, I'll add. And one of the good reasons is that it's just, although it's warmed up today, it's warmed up considerably. And now it's not even cold. It's not even cold outside. It is pleasantly mild. Mild enough to take my coat off and not need to put it back on again straight away because I'm very uncomfortable. Instead, it's just nice. But so yeah, it's I'm starting to waffle a bit actually. You know, normally I'm fairly good at waffling, and I feel to myself that the waffle is good. You know, it's coercive, not coercive. That means how things stick together. Mind you, that might actually work. So there we go. So yeah, it's wet. It's not what you would call chucking it down, but you don't need it to be massively chucking it down for it to be an unpleasant place to be outside anyway, do you? All you need is it just to be wet. Provided it's wet, it's not a nice place to be. So warm or not, it's not a nice place to be. Is it, Wilma? Hey? No. Now, this evening, oh, gosh, I haven't got any tissues with me. Or have I? I might have. I've probably got some in the car, which is right down there. Oh, I've got a sweet wrap. I could have used that as a tissue. Has anybody ever used? What's the most unusual thing you've used as a tissue? There's a question for you. We all really consider what happens when you get caught short needing a poo. But what about just plain old, you know, a bit of nose mopping? Because that does happen. You can't always have a perfectly dry nose, can you? Sometimes it goes a bit leaky. And it's embarrassing. There's nothing worse than seeing a man stood about with stuff dripping out of his nose. Oh, we've got 7 people here. Wow, that's cool. Ha ha! Out of my elbow. Yeah, so what's the worst thing or the most unusual thing that you've ever used as a tissue? Now, there's one there. Now, it's been there for a few days. So I don't know what could have crawled on that. Could be anything, but needs must. Yeah, so as you see, Wilma is here because there's nobody in the house today. Everyone's going to be out all day. One second. No, you get back in bed. It's all right. Oh gosh, Carol, see you've got a fart. Go on, in your bed. It's just my next door neighbour. My next door neighbour. We seem to be struggling to actually get the door open. Gate open. Wilma, come on. You go in your bed. You don't want to sit down and lie down anywhere on here. That's why I put your cardboard box there to protect your bed so you can be comfortable and not dirty. Yeah, this evening I would have done a live stream. That was my original plan. Although I hadn't actually set one up, that was my intention. Then it turns out I've got something else to do this evening. Something I wasn't expecting. But these things happen, don't they? You end up having to do something, and so you have to change your own plans. Why was I the last to know about this? I don't know. Perhaps I was the first to know, but I forgot all about it. That's also a likely possibility. In one moment, I'm going to treat myself to a cup of coffee. Coffee machine at the ready. Coffee machine with the cup, my coffee cup, rinsed. Bit of an obstacle that there. Ready to bung some. Oh gosh, I've got to clean that out as well. There, well, there's a bit more of the kind of day-to-day kind of stuff going on. Now the tripod is in the way of the that, which I need to hike out the old coffee that's in there. Can you hear the rain? It's not nice, is it? There we go. By having the door kept closed, it means I'm less likely to have just somebody wander in. I've had this before. I remember doing a live stream here, and somebody turned up and just walked in and said, "Oh, sorry, I'm just doing a live stream at the moment," and then they carried on talking to me. I thought, well, you don't know what that means then, do you not? Which not everybody does. It's fine. Should we see who's here today? Should we see what's going on? I don't know what to expect here. I mean, at some point today, hopefully the rain will stop a bit and I'll get a bit of motivation to actually do something. I've washed the car. I've washed the car. You can do car washing in the wet because it involves water. So you don't really get any more, well, I was going to say wet, but you do. You can get quite wet washing a car, can't you? But as long as it's not cold, then you're not uncomfortable as well. Now then. Let's have a go. Let's see who is here. Of course, Casper, the video game player. Welcome, Casper. If you are reading this, I am first here. Please just call me Casper. All right, just call me Casper rather than Casper. Yeah. Uranium is a chemical element with a symbol of U and the atomic number 92. Correct. It is a silver grey metal in the actinide, I didn't know that word before, series of the periodic table. A uranium atom has 92 protons and 92 electrons, of which 6 are valence electrons. Keep it going, actually. This is quite, oh gosh, somebody put some money in it. Right, sorry, I'll come to that in a minute. I will do. All right, okay. Uranium radioactively decays, usually by emitting an alpha particle. The first atomic bomb at Hiroshima at 8:15 in the morning of the 6th of August 1945, the Japanese city of Hiroshima was devastated by the first atomic bomb to be used as a weapon of war. The nicknamed Little Boy was dropped from USAF bomber B-29 and Enola Gay, the exploded some 18,000 feet above the city. Well, look, I'll tell you what, I might come back to this afterwards because this is all very fascinating. It's the kind of things I like. But it's probably best to just do one piece at a time rather than actually taking up the whole live stream. But I do appreciate it, Casper, I really do. And I'm sure that many of the other viewers here actually really enjoy this kind of thing. You get one like. Peter P is here. Today is the day you only get my comments, so... Today is the day you only get my comments, so take off the other people who now have to wait. Peter, you can please prepare the chairs for other people. I should fancy a regular. I usually do the nibbles. Wow. Oh gosh, all this lot was done before I even started. Wow. You find hello, Captain and Wilma. Yep. Well, Wilma's already, you know what dogs are like. It's like, oh, time for a kip, is it? Been asleep all night. Just got up. Probably time for another nap. Take her for a walk. Dragging her feet. Actually fancy a nap, really, rather than a walk. Should we have a nap when I get back? Carol C is here, and of course, Andrew Buttigieg. Hello, Captain Mustard and everyone. It's wet Thursday. It's a wet Thursday in Northumberland, warm and windy. The weather, not me. Something you ate? No, not you. No. Hello to all on the channel. Hello, hello. Hi, Moggs. Where's Moggs? Oh, hang on. Right, yes, that's. I keep forgetting what that is. You catch me out by talking to me with what you call me. It's better than calling me Jimmy, anyway. Thank you. Oh, I didn't notice, Wilma. Well, you sure have now. I always have a tissue in a pocket on my handbag. I don't have a handbag. Mind you, I do have a briefcase. And why have... Wait a minute. What am I talking about? I've got loads. Sorry, Wilma. Yeah. I've got loads of tissues in my briefcase. The briefcase is the man's version of the handbag, is it not? Or is it the man bag that is the man's bag version of the handbag? I think so. The briefcase is one of those things that is somewhat out of fashion for anyone, unless of course they are conducting some sort of business. So to walk around with an old 1970s briefcase does suit me rather well. Because it will lead to many asking the question, what's in the briefcase, mate? What's in there? Why do you carry a briefcase around? Like you care. Oh gosh, my glasses have steamed up now because obviously being outside made some of my head strings ever so slightly wet. And that means that as soon as you put your glasses on your head, which is the most comfortable place to leave them, I will add, they get steamed up. So, but because it's warm, it doesn't take too long for them to go away. Use a beach towel like boat is. Oh, how's Nigel doing? Well, there's a good question. Nigel still has the same amount of jobs that need doing on it as it did do before. So, investigate why the high-level brake light doesn't work. Shock absorber, track rod end, maybe a couple of tyres. But I've been so preoccupied with other things here over the past few weeks that I've not really got around to doing much of it, or in fact any of that. But hopefully I will do soon because I need to. Well, I mean, actually, I'm going to tell you something quite interesting here. But I'm thinking I would really like to give up half of the yard. I'd like to just have this part here, a space for a couple of cars out the front, because it's just, I'm paying for something I'm barely using. The only thing I have that does actually come in constant use is the washing facilities, but I can always rig something up. I can rig something up to make that work, and I could save half of my money, and then the landlord would probably be happier that I'm only using this part rather than the bit around the back for storing cars with. But the fact is, I've got to get rid of those cars first, and I'm not really getting anywhere with it. Oh, why take on another car then? Well, the answer to that is quite simply because that's mine. That's mine. It's up to me to do something with that. It's entirely beneficial to me. But the stuff around the back, Tom's car, the old company cars and things, I need to find a way of making them go without losing a whole lot of money and then finding myself in a whole lot of debt with the banker. So that's really where I'm at with that, in case you were wondering. It's pointless to be paying for something if I'm not getting any kind of benefit out of it. The other lockup was full of, I'd say, organised wise, maybe about 60% organised originally. And then with cars coming in all the time, I thought what I really need to do is get rid of all that stuff there, because we could do a lot better selling cars than what I can do selling the odd part here and there. So I just kind of abandoned it and just stuffed it all into corners and stuff like that so we could cram 2 cars in. And it never worked out. So I've got to redo that, or I've either got to get the stores into some sort of thing where it's usable and makes money, or just scrap the whole lot. Now, where was I? That was talking about Nigel, wasn't I? It's Ed China from Temu says, I stand with Russia. Ed China's not from Temu, although Temu's a Chinese company, isn't it? So perhaps he is, actually, come to think of it. Word up, Mill Cocker says, smashing pistons. Good to have you here, Simon. You did not read the start of the comments. I read the start of the comments, Casper, but I just didn't read every single bit because obviously it would, yeah, I can't read everything out. I've got to include everyone. If I just include one person's comments, then the rest of the people will start to disappear. So I can come back and do some of those afterwards. Smashing pistons, splooging pigeons. Carol C, not in your diary. Do you not have a paper or electronic one? Not in your diary. Ah, right. Yes, sort of. I sort of do. I'm kind of a bit loose with it, really. Filofax. Wow. Yes, imagine having a Filofax now. I mean, what would you do? I suppose there are plenty of people around who really like the retro lifestyle, and what they would enjoy is having a Filofax. And then maybe one of those really, really old mobile phones that actually could do the job of a Filofax still. But you're not really going to get anywhere without a mobile phone now, are you? Because there aren't any phone boxes in operation, so you can't make phone calls whilst you're out. So if you were somebody loving retro, loving the 80s, your 80s car, your 80s suit, your 80s style moustache, and your Filofax, your 80s style briefcase as well, you'd probably have secreted about you somewhere a secret mobile phone for convenience purposes that you maybe wouldn't even tell that many people about. Or you certainly wouldn't be flashing it, would you? Then again, what if you are that kind of person, but also into making video? You won't want to carry around all the old camera gear like they used to have to do, would you? Eh? Having something you have to carry on your shoulder when you get much better picture quality from something this size that you can just leave in your pocket. How do they do it? Do they do it? Is anybody going to like this live stream? I've only got 6 so far. I feel a little bit abandoned. Random post-it notes. Oh, random post-it notes everywhere. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah. Oh, Sankyoke. Why do you have so many colours? Now what you mean is on my car. This is a project car. It's just a daft thing that I thought of doing ages back, and it become a lot more popular than I was expecting. So it's cherished. It's barely used these days. It just lives in here, awaiting jobs, awaiting the spring so I can retax it and enjoy it again. Because it's a lovely car. It's a very happy, friendly little thing that you see brings smiles everywhere you go. It's fantastic. So what's why raining? Well, you wash the car. So that's why it's raining. You wash the car. Not that much rain. I stand with Russia say, so what are they supposed to do? Stop and freeze because you're doing a live stream? Lol. Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Beast. Oh yes, Mr. Beast. CYN, Mr. Beast. What a lovely thing to do, to give me. It's either, I think it's $2 US, which equates to £1.59 in the UK. And I'll be able to get my first payment from YouTube, hopefully not too long from now. Now that, of course, I have a monetized channel. And that's the point. Having a monetized channel, you don't want to just leave it there doing nothing. You want to be filling it. You want to be doing things. And I want to be doing things. And increasingly I'm finding that the kind of material that I'm creating doesn't really belong on projects Nigel. So that's why this channel should indeed be taken off. Hello. Somebody called Hello. Are you called Hello? No, you're not. Now that is an Arabic or something, and I can't read it. I haven't got a clue what it means, but thank you very much. Little Boy, and the second was called Fat Man. I've done a song about it, say Smashing Pistons. Very good. Good for you, actually. Good for you. Pity I won't be seeing you this Sunday. Jake and the Fat Man was a good show. Oh. Hey. Oh, hello, old chap. Hello to you. Welcome. Emma Lemon is here briefly. Just having a quick loo break before popping out. Popping out. That's an unusual way to put it. Just popping out. I'm going to have a loo break to pop out. Yes, popping out in the loo. Oh, if it's that kind of loo break, it is. Well, anyway, Emma always good to have you here, Emma Lemon. I missed Andrew Buttigieg's there. OMD and all the very great track. Pick a paragraph to read, says Casper. I will listen. I'll listen. I'll tell you what I'll do. When I get to the end of the comments, I'll shoot back up there and I'll pick another one to read out, because this if I just pick a paragraph now, then I've got to find my way back down here. And the live stream could be one of two things. Either it could be just entirely about me, and you could just observe as I go about doing some of my everyday things, whether it be getting soaked out there, tinkling with the Nigel, tinkling with the keyboard, talking to the dog, organising tools, making myself a cup of coffee, or what have you. It's either that or engaging with the public who are here to watch. And I can't entirely do that if it's just one person. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to catch up and then go back. Okay, old chap? Gamer, do you sell meth blue? I don't even know what it is, I'm afraid. And but thank you for asking such a question. I mean, is that your approach? Have you gone every single live stream and ask if that particular person sells this product? You'll eventually find what you're looking for. Maybe it's really difficult to find. Maybe. I mean, but did they do it by the post or something? Or do you have to go knocking on doors? Anyway, good luck with your hunt. Cod Medic. Toit tonight. Toit tonight. Welcome, Cod Medic. Cod Medic's a good name. What do you reckon, Wilmer? What would we give Cod Medic as a mark out of 10 for a username? What would you give it? I'd give it 6. That's quite a good username. I like it. I used to have a leather briefcase for school, triangular shape with a strap over the top. I know the type you mean. How lovely. Oh, you haven't got it anymore. Did it fall apart? Did you sell it on eBay? Did you get fed up with it? Did you lose it? Should we give the dog some water? Poor briefcase. Dog, would you like some water? Oh, as a special little treat, we'll have water with the tiniest splash of milk in it. You shouldn't give much milk to dogs or cats, but you put a little bit of water, put a tiny bit of milk in there, and they love it. See how she's got up? For those ASMR fans, listen to this. Here we go. Somebody will love that. I don't know why, but somebody always does love that kind of thing. Denny the dog. Do you like Turbo Minchia? I have no idea. I'm going to say yeah. I'll just say yeah because I'm eager to please, and maybe if I please you, you'll come back, you'll subscribe, you'll like the live stream, you'll become a channel member. Please, who would like to become a channel member? Well, you're welcome to. I'm going to just try something here actually. I'm going to change the lighting. Ah, how about that? How about that for lighting? That makes me feel like I'm in Las Vegas. That's cool, isn't it? Eh? What do you reckon? This is rather cool. I'm impressed. Why didn't I do this before? It's much more cozy. And I can now see what's going on at the top there. I can better understand how many people are here, how many pennies I've been gifted. I mean, what a wonderful out of the blue thing that was. And It just makes it all a bit more cozy, don't you think? Let's keep it this way. CBR boy, hello from the M25. Imagine having a VHS, says Casper. Have you any experience with a VHS? Where's my dog gone? Hi dog, go on, you can go back on your bed now. Right, that is well worthwhile staying out of. That rain is hideous. Oh, that's strange. Hideous rain, hideous indeed. Wilma, come on, stop. Honestly, this lighting now, it feels really lovely. It feels like a really nice place to be. One thing I've been meaning to do, and I keep forgetting, is to have that night at the Lockup, doing a live stream from the Lockup at night, spending the nights in the back of the car. Not the most adventurous or original thing to do, but still a thing to do that I would like to do. And this lighting just makes me want to do it even more, because it would just feel so cozy and lovely. And gosh, normally I am a big fan of natural daylight, but I'm also quite a fan of this kind of lighting as well. Only thing is, you can't see the dog as well now, can you? Yeah, right, okay, VHS video recorder. When I grew up, we had a VHS video recorder, and but before that we had a Betamax, and of course Betamax was better, but it didn't catch on in the same way that VHS did. Often the way, the better things get left behind. Or a Nokia. I've had a Nokia mobile phone and a radio. When I was about 11, I had a little, what would you call it, the crystal set that my dad made. And so that was in my bedroom. So I listened to the radio very, very quietly, listening to probably Radio 2 late into the evening. When I used to go to sleep, listening to the radio, like just really, really quietly. It was nice. Me too, Andrew. Andrew's got a VHS recorder. Jack the Beanstalk. Wow, he can spell bell end. Now, what would we do with bell end? We could ring it. We could ring Jack the Beanstalk and say, "Ring-a-ding-ding, how's your bell end today? Hope you're okay. I'm sure you are. Welcome, Jack the Beanstalk. I'm going to give you a mark out of 10 for your username, and it is 4, because obviously Jack the Beanstalk isn't quite right. It should be Jack the Beanstalk. But good try. Or a cassette tape. Yes, in fact, some cars, you know, if you're a fan of old cars, it's not difficult to have a car that still has a cassette player in there. Old Nokia phone doesn't work though. They never seem to actually stop working. Oh wow, Jack the Beanstalk again says bell end. My presumption there is that that's the only word that Jack can spell, and he's practicing and working his way up to saying something like hello or hi. My name's Jack. I am 7 years old. I haven't quite got a very good grasp of the English language yet, but please bear with me, because I am trying. And we will all help you along your way, Jack. All of us will help you. It's a great place to be to learn, as Casper will prove. Emma's retracted her message. Bye says, oh, are you going? Are you? Oh, maybe you're talking to Emma, because Emma's probably going, isn't she? Mustard loves his car of many colours. I do, of course I do. It's a lovely car. It's a lovely, cheerful machine. I invite you all around to come and observe it, have a play in it. I suppose the lighting in here is a nice reflection on what the car is, isn't it? No, that was never intentional, by the way. This, I want a new profile picture for my Facebook thing. I normally do one at the start of the month, but at some point I need to do one with this lighting. and that car in the background. Not that it's definitely been done before, but not quite like that. Bit more. And radios and cassette players and a turntable. Oh, I used to love having a turntable. I loved having a turntable. I don't have any records anymore. I actually let my friend Johnny One Scoop, take them to sell them on. And surprisingly, the record that was actually worth something was by The Cure. The rest of them really weren't worth very much at all. Oh, and there we go again. There's number 3 from Jack the Beanstalk. Oh, and there's a point. It shouldn't be Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, it should, shouldn't it? Who says bell end again for the 3rd time. Proving, oh shit. Proving that I've put too much coffee in there. Oh dear. Does anybody like black coffee? I always have coffee with milk in it because it takes away some of the nasty bitterness. But actually, when you have proper coffee like that, it's nowhere near as bitter, even though it's a lot stronger. Snap to all doings. Ah, right. There's a point. I can't see. Ah, is it there? Oh, hang on. Chat filter. All messages. I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot all about that. Wonder where I was up to now then. Aragon. Who's behind you, Captain? Someone is looking. I know, it's you. Where I got to. There we go, that's where I was up to. Would you are you have no. How dare she be out having a life, eh? How dare she? Well, I didn't really anticipate there being that many people knocking about at this time of day. I mean, I could have another moderator, but doing the moderating job's quite a demanding task, isn't it? It really doesn't work for someone who's just about to pop out or go off and do something else, or for someone who says and can only say blend. Can we hear the tune to Emma Lemon Show? Oh, yeah. I can't remember to play though. But it goes like, yes, it is time to have a poo. 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 Go for a shit! That's what it was. She didn't like it enough. I was really disappointed. I thought she'd have loved that. I spent ages writing that. Crafting the words. Making the tune up. She just didn't even like it. Everybody else I make tunes for, I love them. But Emma's like, oh, thank you very much. I shall never use that. Didn't you? It's not as strong as it should be, that coffee. You have kept me company a while doing the washing up. Can you do the drying up? No, Carol, you can do the drying up, I'm afraid. Hi, Jack. Are you circumcised? Good question, actually, Jack. Yeah. If it's still here, then are you circumcised? Circumcised. Oh, no, I mean, you shouldn't really ask people stuff like that. It might seem a bit rude. Jack Jack the Bellend could do with a bit of matron's special spatula treatment. He might just turn around and actually be quite a good contributor. Jack the Bellend. Oh, sorry, Jack the Beanstalk. Please do like on the live stream and subscribe, and you'll get to be here more often, won't you? Sweet question, bro. Heck, I have read that as special source, Emma. Matrons at the cock again. Lucky Andy, that costs extra. Oh, Ilya, Ilya, hello. And that's where Aragon said, who's behind you, Captain? Somebody's looking. Well, unless what we had there is somebody just peeping the door open and having a quick look through. I don't think it could be anything other than a really creepy and weird ghost, of which I'm perfectly comfortable with. And as we can see down there, Wilma is not too bothered. Wilma, as soon as I say Wilma, she pops her head up. She pops her head up. Does it clap? Asks whatever that is. It looks like he's trying to say crazy, but you got your A mixed up with a Q. Does it clap? I don't know. What do you mean the lights? Do you actually operate them with a clap? Oh, lights, all the fun of the fair. Somebody's creeping behind you, says Aragon. Ooh. The thing is, you scared them off, I reckon. Saturday night disco at PNHQ, and of course it's more like well, it's not Saturday night, is it there where you are? But it's definitely not the same time of day as it is here for me. Captain's son is stalking. Look behind you, Aragon says. Oh, I'm going to wait till something dreadful happens instead. And now, Hamid Souse, what's this? Meth. That's the second mention of that. More people on the make, more people desperately trying to impress those around us that don't know what you're talking about. You usually need something a bit more than saying the word meth to actually get there, so let's try again. Let's try something more interesting. Tell me something about yourself that is worthwhile knowing. Need a mirror ball, says Andrew. Oh. Please put a dog treat on the bed. Well, I didn't bring dog treats, did I? Oh, so sorry. Every time she responds very, very quickly to her name. So I say Wilma, and she just pops right up straight away, don't you? Hey? Don't you? Here's a clever doggy out here. I haven't actually brought any treats for her. Anyway, I worry about giving her too many treats. I've got some eggs. I've got some boiled eggs. I could give her a boiled egg. But then I worry about giving her too much to eat as well. So maybe in a bit, maybe in a little while, when I have my part of my lunch, oh gosh, which I am reasonably sure I should be due soon. I'm going to have a couple of boiled eggs. Maybe she could share it with me. She'd like that. More than I would. I don't mind sharing. Yes, Betamax, the Betamax Bandit. Mum still has a Betamax recorder, says Andrew. Please like and subscribe to the channel, says Carol C. Yes, exactly. Romulus. Albus Dumbledore is alive. Well, that's good news. Was Albus Dumbledore on the edge of not being alive any longer, or was he or it or what have you somewhat already dead and come back from the dead? Has Albus Dumbledore been reanimated with the use of science or something more creepy? The discotheque at the yard, says Jim Bob, who's a channel member. You can see, if you want your name in green, you can become a channel member too. Just click on the link in the description and have yourself a jolly good time watching my latest video that nobody else can see just yet. The United Colours of Nigel. Hey, Jim Bob. Hello, Andrew. Not usually around here at this time. Glad to be, though. That's nice. That's nice. Of course, The Cure would be of extreme value. Of course, The Cure. If The Cure were French, would they be called liqueur instead? Which would then suggest that it's all about drinking sweet drinks. Andrew Buttigieg, same Andrew, and an impromptu live on Mustard's behalf. John Jones, what cars you got in the lockup? just one. Just that one. This lockup will only fit one car, unless you're talking about the other lockup down there, which currently is housing a Rover 45, a press release Rover 45, a car that should have some real interest, but for some reason doesn't. If you had a press release Mondeo or something like that, people would be all over it. But because it's a Rover, and we live in a country where everybody assumes it's not going to work, rather than it actually work, and that's why there's still quite a lot of them knocking about. Then, that's the other thing. Because there's still a lot of them about, because they actually work better than most people believe. That's what causes them not to be of such big value. Whereas your Fords, which did tend to go wrong quite a bit, and there was many, many more of them to start with, are now worth loads because they were already left. I must drink this coffee before it goes properly cold. And make sure the next one's a bit stronger than that. Jack the Beanstalk, honestly, right. Jack the Beanstalk says, honestly, I don't even know you. What is that? A Geo Metro? Restore it gas saver. Interesting. It's not a Geo Metro. What's a Geo Metro? A Geo Metro? It's a Rover 25 that actually is a rather special Rover 25. The kind of car you could only ever dream of. And that's because it's not for sale. The theme tune was shit, says M11. Well, yes, I know, but I wouldn't. The last thing you need is me making a tune up for you for your channel that doesn't reflect your channel. Sorry, Emma, I couldn't resist that. It's from Bilingo. It is shit. Of course it's shit. It's deliberately shit. That's the point, isn't it? They're not supposed to be actually good tunes. Hi, John, the most famous rover in the universe, Project Nigel. It's probably not the most famous, but it's definitely up there. You've got the rain there, I hear. Sorry about that. It's windy but sunny in Ireland. I've never even been to Ireland, but I'd love to go exploring actual Ireland. Not so much Northern Ireland, but around on the west coast of Ireland. Such a different place to hear. I mean, I could actually just go to Scotland, where it's kind of the same but colder, and without the need of a ferry. I haven't done that yet either. Well, I've been to Scotland, but just not proper exploring the place. Great tune, MAU Snob. I like the Allegro Man theme tune. Well, actually, yes, I suppose so. All right, let's say the Allegro Man theme tune isn't shite. That's actually quite good. But I mean, it's just that only happened whilst I was with him one day, and I just started singing it. It just came out from nowhere, and so I thought, oh, that could be your theme tune. Maybe next time we meet, I'll do exactly the same thing for you. I promise. I'll make you one that you actually like. I'll just keep on trying. I'll just keep on knocking out tunes on my keyboard and mixing them all together until eventually you say, yeah, that one will do. Right, I'm off. Catch you all later, says Emma. Goodbye. Thank you for joining me. Later. My friend David lost his ID today. Now I call him Dav. That's brilliant. Thank you. I reckon that deserves a mark out of 10, and that is a 6 out of 10 for that. Hi, Black Lines. Hi, BL. Nicole is here. Shout out, says Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Welcome to my live stream. I hope you are still here. Now you've kept me company whilst I've been folding towels and clothes. What an exciting life I have. I lead, rather. It is, Carol. It is. It's a very exciting life if you can spend your time folding towels and not have to worry about doing other things. I'd like that myself. I spent this morning looking at my ceiling. Not sure if it's the best one in the world, but it's definitely up there. Oh, that's a all right joke actually. No, it's not. It's not great, but it's still worth an appraisal, I suppose. Come on, dog. No, you stay there. Ow! Ow! Why am I doing this whilst it's still so hot? Eh? Ow! You stay there. Wilma, I'm sorry about the interruption there, but actually, I made a cup of coffee and I was a bit dissatisfied with it because it wasn't really strong enough, and now I still have the urge to have one. Wilma, hi, Beanstalk. Oh, there you are. Why am I calling you Beanstalk? Oh, she's had all of her milk and water. Do you want some coffee? I've never got any in the fridge for her. Come on. Now, normally you'd have. Right. Is that what this is for? So I have a thing here. Could that balance on there? Whilst, no, it doesn't. Well, where are you supposed to do it then? Do it just. I'm getting confused by my own coffee machine. I've had it long enough. But the only thing is, really, it doesn't really matter if I spill a bit on the floor because there's plenty of other stuff on the floor. It's impossible practically to keep this place actually clean because above there are gaps around the edges of the roof. So leaves blow in. You notice that all year round, leaves blowing in? No, but you do when you're here because some of the trees managed to hang on to their leaves ever so slightly longer and then just chuck them onto this roof, and then they all come down here, they end up down here. Also being next to a main road where there are bins and stuff everywhere, litter strewn around the yard, carpet fitters not putting stuff in the actual skip, and with a bit of wind stuff just gets blown eventually under that gap of the door there. So all sorts of shite to be found. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. Ironing next, says Carol C. Did you know the coast walk of Hadrian's Wall is about 84 miles long? Yeah, I gathered it was about that long. Not that long, is it really? Is that possibly the shortest stretch across England? Could be. Interesting. Dent is the highest train station in the UK. See, that's a nice little fact that doesn't take too long to read out. Northern Ireland is beautiful as well, says Carol. Great golf courses, north and south. I really would like to go there one day. Oh, it makes me laugh when people say that, but it's only like 99 pence on a train. No, a ferry. Dentist is a very cute village with cobbled road. Dent, not dentist. How do you get that mixed up? Just right, you word checker thing just got carried away with it, and you wasn't paying enough attention. Jolly good. Oh, that's an interesting name. Let's do this halfway then. Let's have a proper strong one. Right, I see. Isn't a Geo Metro an American version of the Suzuki Swift? It could be. Very, very, very likely. In fact, I've never even heard of one. I know about British cars, but not really American cars. In fact, I've got a massive blind spot when it comes to American cars because the only ones I'm actually interested in are the really big ones from the 70s. I think I did, I did my 10-car garage thing on the other channel one day. About 2 years ago, I made a video of that. It got very, very little views. And my 10-car garage included like one of those Plymouth station wagons, and that's about it really for American cars. Nothing else really appeals. Wilma, what are you doing now? Go on, you go on there, where you're comfortable. Go on. I certainly don't have any interest in cars with names that have been changed to fit the American market, or the American version of British or European cars where they put those extra indicators on them and make them just look a bit strange. They know they weren't designed with those kind of lights on, so when they put them on there, they just don't look right at all. Actually, there's a Volvo, the Volvo S40, the late 90s S40, looked a bit like that from standard as well, so not sure what they were thinking of. Hairy Fat COX, nice Lambo, isn't it? Thank you, Hairy. HFC, welcome. Ask Boaty about ceilings. Oh, well, here we go. Have we got some sort of in-joke on the go here? I've not been able to attend any of Boaty's live streams for the past 2 days because I've had other things to be doing. I don't feel guilty about it. No, I don't feel obliged. I don't think I should have to be there for every single one. I'm a man of many doings. I have many, many things to be doing. There's a ghost in my coffee. That's much better. That's much more like it. So for future reference, if you have a coffee machine at work and you're doing a live stream and you're pressing the button there that just keeps on adding more water to it, be aware. Be vigilant, even, that you may end up with a coffee that's much weaker than you like it. And that's because you're trying to multitask and it never ever works, does it? Eh? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Let's get back to some more comments. I think our friend Casper's gone, actually. We'll see quite soon. Who else then? Does she want a wee? No, but she's been out not so long back. She was out wandering around the yard just before I started the live stream. Come in, Mustard, but your wallet will be assaulted. Will it? Will it? And then my wallet, you can't really sort of do much with it, really. I've got my wallet in my pocket. Shall I show you what I've got in my wallet? One £5 note with eyes, and I've been trying to hang on to this. Look, it's even got the Queen's head on it. Yeah, that's not very impressive, is it? I know loads of people who carry around a fat wallet. You know, they've always got a couple of grand in their pocket, basically. Selfish people. Hello, Mustard and other individuals, say Stephen S. Paul. Hello to you. Hello, hello, hello. Suzuki Swifts are not Swift. Well, no, they're not. It's kind of a joke, isn't it, really? Pablo Young Food Vlog. What do you think of a new car? Oh gosh, here we go. Right. No, I don't know. I'm careful enough not to. I mean, that's not actually offensive anyway. It's not actually offensive, but it's just pointless. Thanks for trying. Is that a Chinese company? The new Volvo SE X69 is pretty cool, says Pablo. I'm sure it's fabulous. I can't wait to drive one. Yeah, Chinese company. David Vickers. I am the epitome of greatness. Or the epitome. I am the epitome of greatness, says David Vickers, praising himself, patting himself on his back as he does so. Well done. I would like to agree. I'm definitely not going to disagree, because that would mean I'd have to have some evidence, wouldn't it? Lambo or Ferrari, asks Pablo. Neither. It's a Rover. It's a Rover 25, and that is well, this Rover 25 will get more heads turned than any Lambo or Ferrari, and I know I've put it to the test. It's not why I've done it. Lamb or ferrets? You've got more than me, says David Vickers. Well, yeah, because you haven't got any money in my wallet, that's why. I've only got my £5 notes. If you had money in my wallet, then that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Hello, CRB. Irish Ferry is 10 minutes from my house, and I've never been over there. When one of these channels starts to become successful, I will include traveling as part of the channel content. Definitely, I really will. That's one of my promises to myself and to you even, that should this channel miraculously become successful, that's going to be one of the big directions. I'd love to be doing something every week, going off exploring, rather than just walking around a lake or going up to the top of Blackstone Edge or any of these kind of things. I don't go much further afield, but you've got to have the funds behind you, and you've got to have the video that will actually be worthwhile doing and pay for itself. And there's potential, and it may happen one day. In fact, I'm relying on it happening. Greetings, Andrew. John Proctor. I just farted. I guess that's John Proctor. It's just with the H in the wrong place. I just farted. Good for you. Good for you. And welcome. Love your garage light, says Pablo. If you have to drive one car for yourself the rest of your life, what would it be? Interesting question, because actually I couldn't just drive one car. I'd just get fed up with it. At the moment, my current car is one I'd think, well, I'd be happy just to stick with this, but then I look at other things. So I can't really honestly answer that question properly. Hey, it stopped raining. Wow. That means when I finish up here, I'll be able to go outside and get my feet wet, but not my head. You kind of look retired, John Wick, says Pool. I wish I was retired. How do I look retired, though? I don't look that old. I would definitely say that for my age, the only thing that makes me look old, really, is the hair. And how do you know I haven't done that deliberately? How do you know this isn't just my natural hair colour that I've had since I was 20? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Have you ever driven an EV, asks Carol. Yes, I have. I've driven a few, actually, on my other channel. I've driven a Nissan Leaf, which was... didn't really get that excited by it. I drove a Renault Megane, and the latest Renault Megane. That was... all right. And then an MG4, what's its name? X-Power. And that was... wow! But also... The car itself wasn't particularly interesting, but it was utterly rapid. I mean, the quickest car I've ever been. Supercar beating performance. It was astonishing. But that's the only thing it can do. The rest of it's just kind of a bit dull. Oh, in fact, actually, on that day, I also drove my friend's Subaru Impreza, which is a souped-up model with, I think, 350 brake. And it just felt slow afterwards. Pheasant. Pheasant the posh VW. You mean Phaeton? Roadrunner or Coyote? Oh, Coyote. I mean, obviously, the Coyote was the villain, but the Coyote's a dog, isn't it? It's cute still, even though it's a cartoon dog. And it was definitely not really around any longer. And how it managed to survive. Maybe a dog that can put up with that kind of punishment would still be alive no matter what. So yeah, the Coyote. John says, Ireland is where the Brits leave the intellectual disabled children. That's it. Burb is the word, says Andrew. Burb is the word now. Right, okay. My dream car would be the Mercedes-Benz 1966 Roadster 2-seater. Yeah, very nice car. Not that great to drive though, I don't think. Very nice and everything. I like the Mercedes with the fins. That's the earlier model, isn't it? That's the early 60s. I mean, I was always a fan of the what became the E-Class. So the W123. I had a W123. It was a 2-litre in beige. What a lovely car. A 2-litre. There was a W reg, an old W as well. So now it would be well and truly tax exempt. 2-litre W123 off eBay for £236. And at the time, my friend said, "How did you manage to get a Mercedes estate for under £1,000?" I don't know, it's just nobody bid on it. I mean, it still had MOT, it still worked, it just had a rusty tailgate. But actually, it drove fine. What a bargain. That's going back quite a while. That's going back 20 years now. I'd love to have that again. But that's going to be well and truly scrapped. Or actually in Africa or something like that. Because I ended up selling it to someone who said that it's going to be imported. But I sold it to someone who's properly dodgy though. That's the other thing. I can't remember whether I did this story on my Mustard's car history thing, which my friend Johnny Crook reminded me of yesterday and said you should bring that back and do the rest of them. And yeah, I should. I need to go through them and see which ones I did and then refer to my list that I've probably forgotten about, or at least rewrite the list, because there's still bound to have been something. I've gone through an awful lot of cars over the years, but the story with that one, if you're interested, I come to sell my Mercedes 123 because I bought myself a Triumph Dolomite. A Dolomite 1850 HL, which was much more really my kind of thing. It was so lively and sporty and fun and just 70s and stuff. It's just fabulous. I just love the Triumph Dolomite. And I didn't want to keep that as well. I had a daily car, which at the time was a relatively modern Rover 400. And it was only, 10 years old at the time. 10 years old, wow. And anyway, so I come to sell it. I put it on whatever it was. I didn't have Facebook Marketplace, didn't have Gumtree. There was just some other magazine or something like that. And anyway, so a couple of people didn't turn up. Then suddenly these two chaps turned up with very, very kind of thick Irish accents that weren't quite Irish. They were kind of Irish sounding, but not actually Irish. Do you know the kind of people I mean? Anyway, so they said, "Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, we'll definitely have it, and we'll give you the full asking price, and it's going to be imported." I thought, brilliant, okay. And one of them said, "Yeah, you mind if I just take it for a test drive, see what it's like?" So it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. I stood with the other one, and about 20 minutes went by, and he came back with it all steaming out the front. And said, "It's no good to us. This, it's knackered." Open the bonnet, and there was a massive hole in the radiator, because you open the bonnet up, and you can see the radiator. There's a gap like that big in front of it, and the radiator was there with a hole about that big, that definitely was not there before. And he didn't say, "Oh, it's no good to me." He said, "Oh, we can't really give you very much for this because look at that." So at that point, I thought, right, no, it's fine. I'll keep it. I'll just sort it out. But I just want to get rid of these guys. I don't really want you to be beaten down on price with it. It was already going cheaply. Anyway, and I got almost what I was asking for, because I knew that they'd done that. I knew that he'd done it, and he must have known that I knew that he'd done it, because I knew it wasn't like that before. It was a strange thing. Why would you do that to a car that ends up being your own? Because the amount that they would have to spend to actually put it back right again would have been more than I knocked off for the price of the car. Isn't that weird? Don't you think? Anyway, hope you don't mind that rather exciting story there. Oh yeah, and I love 80s Mercs. No power steering, but would look beautiful, says Carol. W201, 124, 126. Yes. Now, the son of Jack's here. He's a fan of Mercedes, aren't you? Do you think Rochdale will be a National League playoff season? I know how much you love your football. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me started on football because I'll never stop. I just want to talk about football non-stop. But I know that nobody else really gives a rat's armpit. Oh, gosh. Who got that one? Nobody cares about football. That's it. It's just one of those things where I don't know. I don't really know. I see people liking football. You see men. I mean, when we get to this point where football's going on, and whatever the weather, you'll hear like these kind of noises going on outside of men walking up the street or down the street, usually just in t-shirts, whether it's raining or not. Why do you need to wear a football t-shirt just because you like football? Eh? What is that about? I mean, maybe it's a bit like, you if you wear a band t-shirt, but I don't know. I just find it a bit odd. If I liked football, I don't think I'd shout about it. I'd just do it quietly. If I wanted to go to a pub to watch football, I'd probably think, I'm just going to wear a shirt, not a football shirt. Anyway, yeah, so we have that kind of thing. You all this noise going. It's incomprehensible shouting. You can't tell what they're actually saying. It's just like, good impression, eh? Now, the point being is that I don't know anyone who I like who actually likes football. Oh, I mean, one of my brothers likes football, and I don't say I don't like him, but obviously we disagree on that particular thing. And the thing is, he's never tried to talk to football about to me, whereas most football people do. They just assume that you like it because you're a man. Isn't that true? Can't remember which channel it was, but they had an old 60s two-door Mercedes stuffed with late AMG running gear. That would make it work, wouldn't it? Good afternoon, Captain, says Mighty Cat Mods. Good afternoon to you too. Wow, lovely to have you here. Travellers, you mean, Mustard? Well, no, I don't mean anything. I'm very careful not to say things. And so, yeah, I would put it this way, that I have dealt with people like that in the past, and to be honest, I've found them to be okay. I found them to be a little bit intimidating, but they generally do what they're saying they're going to do. They don't really usually let you down. Retro power cars are good at updating old cars, says Peter P. Some weird people around, including me, says Carol. Not heard of that channel before. You're correct. Currently driving a daily 190e. I love it. Yeah, I thought I was going to end up with a 190e. I really did. It came very close to it. Now, if anyone's familiar with the other channel and the other cars and stuff, I have a rather lovely Rover 414 in Hawaiian blue, which is kind of more of a turquoise. It's had an awful lot of money spent on it, and it's just a really very pleasant car. Somebody contacted me who watches my videos and said, would you be interested in a straight swap for a Mercedes 190e? With MOT, it's just going to need a couple of patches of welding doing to it when the MOT runs out in about 5 months. And I thought, yeah, I would actually. Yeah, I would do. I wouldn't say it's more my kind of thing, but two things here. Obviously, the Mercedes is worth more. And the other thing is that to have stuff going on here, I've got to have things moving around, which is why having stuff sat there is a bit stale and not good for me or the channel or the yard. Anyway, didn't happen. He just changed his mind. So that's a pity. Football shirt is showing your tribe, says Carol. See, that's the kind of sound I'm talking about. And obviously it triggers the dog. I wear black and white, says Andrew Buttigieg. Take a look, Andrew. Some lovely Allegro projects at the moment, amongst others. Football, yawn. Actually, we have a similar kind of thing at the garage. Now, the chaps who work in the garage, they're mostly, I say mostly, they're all decent enough chaps. And a couple of them are actually quite smart. But some of the people that they have coming in, some of the regulars, not so much. You can hear just this kind of muffled, wombling sounds going on, a bit like what that was then. And accompanied with some engine revving and often a whole load of noise going up the road. It's fabulous. I can still hear some shouting now. Wilma's probably most likely going to be off again to protect her territory. My brother-in-law, long-time season ticket holder, man of City, Collingwood FC, an Australian football club. Wombling, yes, wombling. That's what they do. Wombling around. Wombling around. And finally, I have caught up with the comments. So now I can get back to some of Casper, I said just his first name, so Casper's comments from earlier on, but I think he's gone. I think awful really, that he might have just been a little bit, bothered that I couldn't read out all of his comments straight away, but there are an awful lot of very interesting things going on, and I did make a good start on them, but I wanted to actually see who else was in the building with me. Of course, I try to be a decent host, as you may have noticed, and people are still coming in now and then going again, coming in, going, leaving comments, not leaving comments, liking the live stream, becoming channel members, etc. Told you, did you hear that farty noise then? That's not the sound of power. That's the sound of somebody wanting power to sound like it's actually happening, but of course it isn't. It's not. Is anybody here actually gonna like my live stream before I go? Reba Fluff. I am on my way to see Dr. Piz today because of my pee smells funny. Another fantastic intro to yourself. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. What you called? Reba Fluff. I hope it's something that can be resolved without anything. I mean, because if you have a really bad problem like that, what they have to do is they have to take off. You have to take off that member and service it in a different, hospital altogether, and keep it alive in a jar. They bring it back and then they sew it back on again and re-plug everything in. It's not exactly routine, so hopefully you won't have any of that kind of issue on the go. Do let us know how it works out in the next live stream, if you could. In fact, if you want to do, you could even come back to this live stream later on and just leave a comment on it, because it will be just left on. It might be live now, but it will be just left on afterwards, and we're all properly invested in your penis. Okay? Fake power. Fart boxes. Yeah. Boxes of farts. Afternoon peeps, says General Cheeseburger. Who's the channel member? I can't remember whether you paid for your own channel membership or whether you were gifted it. But either way, I'm glad you are one. I'm being productive. My rain has stopped. Hi, Cheeseburger. And I think it's stopped here. So that would be a relatively good time to actually end the live stream and go and do something, wouldn't it? But what should I do? What should I do? I can't remember where I'm up to with video editing, or I've still got quite a bit of work to do on a particular car out there, ready to be taken away. The trouble is, you end up with a car, and you just sell some bits off of it, and then it's like, when do you stop? Because if I had the space to keep everything, you can't leave behind something like that wing. It's got a wing on it, perfectly okay, not rusty. Somebody will want that, and if I don't take it off, someone's going to complain at me. The grill, these grills break when you start pushing them backwards, because when they're made of plastic. If you push a car using a plastic grill, it's going to break, isn't it? It's unfortunate. Just a couple of bits like that. Yeah. I better go and pump up my tyres, says Jim Bob. I've only just got here, I know. Still, Sheeson, still about. Just about is the answer. Just about. There's not a lot of useful stuff left on it. Oh, this weekend, I was supposed to be having a meetup. A meetup, yeah. A PN meetup. But it looks like Sunday is going to be off because it's going to be absolutely chucking it down. And there's no point in having a meetup with a bunch of people and car enthusiasts whilst it's raining that badly, because it'll be deeply unpleasant. Which is a pity, because I've got a box of seat belts over there for someone who's supposed to be picking them up. I've got a carpet there for someone supposed to be being picked up, and that's money. I get paid. I get paid for that, and now I'm just going to have a carpet, a whole carpet, stored in the corner of the lockup. Isn't really particularly good. It takes up far too much space. It's something to trip over, so it's just a bit on the irritating side, I'm afraid. Gone but not forgotten. Oh, Carl Davis, just in a coffee break from work. Oh, hello all. Carl, was you going to be coming up to my meetup? I can't remember. Saturday is nice. Yes. So I believe. I mean, that's a possibility. I could actually just change it now before it's too late and say, look, could we do on Saturday instead? But would people turn up? Because normally Sunday is the best day for that kind of thing. Saturday's a not so good day for that kind of thing. I'm going to have a think about that. It's not like there's hundreds of people coming. It's only going to be about 10 at the most, I reckon. Anyway, amongst those other things, it probably is time I went off and did something productive now. Although I will say that doing a live stream is productive because it keeps my channel moving. It keeps the watch hours going. I've got £1.59 out of it, and hopefully, some more new subscribers. But it's probably best to leave it there. So thank you. That's the kind of thing that would normally set the dog off. The stupid pops and bangs. Will Brute, where's my money, Lebowski? You can have it. You can have it tomorrow. Right, okay, bye for now then. And I'll see you all in the next one, which will be... Hang on, when am I going to do the next one? Definitely on Sunday. I was thinking of doing them on Saturday, but the only thing is, if I was to do, if I could change this, then I'm going to need to rearrange my other weekend plan. Right, it will definitely be Sunday, maybe Saturday as well, or maybe Friday. All right, bye-bye. Have a nice time.